Hi, my name is Alanna and I'd like to thank you for watching this video today. I'm an IELTS tutor and I've been teaching English to overseas students for the last 16 years. And today I'd like to talk a little bit about what's involved in the IELTS Speaking Test. The IELTS Speaking Test is basically an interview with a specially trained IELTS examiner. Now, it's done at a different time to the listening, reading and writing tests. Often you'll do the listening, reading and writing test in the morning, and the speaking test is sometimes in the afternoon, or sometimes it's even on a different day. It depends on the test centre, and I think it depends on the numbers for a particular test. Now, the IELTS Test Centre will inform you of your interview time, and I strongly suggest you arrive early because some centres might not even let you do the test if you arrive late. And you'll be flustered and nervous. You just want to arrive in the best possible way. It's the best thing for you, the examiner and the other candidates. So, what's my best IELTS interview arrival time suggestion? I think you should arrive at the test centre at least half an hour before your interview time. Gives you time to get yourself organised, just to know what you're doing, to find your way around, etc. Now, each IELTS test centre is slightly different. One thing that will be the same in every test centre, though, is that your ID will be checked by administration staff. As you know, IELTS is a very security conscious exam, which is good because it means, this is why it's such a highly respected test. Now, one of the things that they put in, one of the measures they take to ensure security is exactly the same ID must be shown to the administration staff on test day as is on your application form. Okay, so same ID on your application form and that you take to the test centre on test day. Now, once you've shown your ID to the administration staff, depending on the centre again, you may be taken to a waiting room and then someone will come and get you just before your test. Or you may be asked to wait outside the interview room, so you'll know exactly which interview room you're going to be in. Now, bear in mind that you may have to find the interview room yourself, and it might be on a different floor. Often test centres are in universities, so they're quite big buildings. Again, leave yourself plenty of time, because you might have to get the lift. Lifts are notoriously awful in educational establishments. You have to wait for ages. I've wasted so many minutes of my life on lifts. So factor this into your time. Now, when it's your interview time, the examiner calls you in, starts recording, verifies your name and nationality and checks your ID. Don't worry about being recorded. It's actually in your interest that it's recorded, because this is how IELTS ensures that the test is the same all over the world, because then they can check examiners and that everything is being conducted properly. It's a good thing, so just ignore the recorder. And then we get into the actual IELTS speaking test. It's 11 to 14 minutes long and it's in 3 parts. So we've got part 1. Part 1 is 4 to 5 minutes long, and you will have to answer questions on familiar topics, for example, family, hometown, etc. Part 2 is 3 to 4 minutes long, and you have to speak about a topic that the examiner gives you for 1 to 2 minutes. Part 3 is 4 to 5 minutes long, and you will have a discussion with the examiner based on themes from Part 2. So this is actually a two-way discussion. In Parts 1 and 2, the examiner can only speak to ask the questions on his or her card, but in Part 3, they can actually engage in a conversation with you. Okay, so again, don't worry if you're talking away in Part 2 and the examiner's just looking at you and smiling and not saying anything. He or she can't at that point. Now, if you'd like to hear more detail about the speaking test and read some of my tips, which I think are really useful, why not download my free report, Speaking Test Tips from an IELTS Tutor, and you can find that at www.bestieltsonline.com. If you're watching this video on YouTube, there's a link under the video that takes you to the website. If you're watching this on my blog, I've put the link there for you. Thanks for watching. I wish you all the best with your IELTS test, and I hope you found this information useful. Bye.